Okay, so the juicy questions now, the juicy questions. Hey guys, okay, so today is the day you've been waiting for. If you are my follower on Instagram, you know that I've asked you guys to please send in your questions that you've been curious about, anything you want to know about me. And so today I'm going to be answering all of your questions. And thank you so much for everybody who participated. I had so much fun reading all of them. I actually wrote them down in a book so that I don't forget. And it's very funny because they all sort of kind of fit around similar themes, so I'm able to like compartmentalize, and I'll answer them in bulk, of course. So if you were one of those people that asked me some questions, stay tuned because they will be answered. And even if you weren't, you know, I'm gonna probably do this again. So if there's anything that I've talked about today and you feel like you want more information, or maybe there's a question that you have that wasn't asked by anybody else, please feel free to put it down in the comment section, and let's get this started. So I really wanted to film outside today because it was such a gorgeous day, but honestly it was so hot. Like honestly it was super hot. I was just like, I literally just filmed 30 seconds and I was sweating already. And if you don't know what that looks like, I will insert a video here. Hey guys, hi. I'm back at it. Oh my god, look at how sweaty I am. You know what, I will keep saying this, do not visit Okinawa in summer, okay? Like it's so humid and so hot, you're gonna hate it. I will repeat, don't come here in summer. And if you don't believe me, there's actually like a short video I made that I'll link up here for you guys to see how terrible it can get. I am back inside. Comfort zone, AC is running, so welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. For those of you who do not know me, my name's Tato and I'm a graduate student in Okinawa, Japan. So I talk about all things Japan, traveling in Japan, culture, just what it's like to be an international student here. So essentially, like why I wanted to do this was because I felt like, okay, I've been on YouTube for 6 months now, and when I celebrated my 3-month Luniversary on YouTube, I sort of did like a reflection piece, kind of recapping my experience and what it's been like on this journey. And I didn't want to do something exactly like that for this time, for 6 months. Maybe I'll do something like that when I've hit the 1-year milestone. If you would like to hear me do a reflection piece of what YouTube has taught me after being on it for 1 year, please let me know in the comment section if that's a video you would like to see. But for today, I thought, hey, I've been on the streets for 6 months now, and you know, I feel like I haven't really shared a lot about myself. I just kind of show you around and take you with me, but there's so much maybe that people are wondering about me. So let me give them an opportunity to ask such questions. So I posed the question on my Instagrams and trying to figure out how I'm going to put them all in one video. So yeah, thank you so much to all of my followers there who have in fact asked me something. And today I am going to be answering all of that. So first of all, you guys are very nosy and I love that. I had a great time just reading through. The first category of questions is academic and just about like studies and school. I'm going to be answering these questions in groups because some of them are very similar. So one of the questions I got was along the lines of, what are you studying and what level are you at in your studies? So I always just say that I'm a graduate student in, you know, Okinawa. But so I'm a PhD candidate, so I've been in Okinawa for like 2 years now, almost 3 years. So my program is a 5-year program, integrated PhD, where you first start your first year with rotations, you do 3 rotations, and then in your second year you choose a lab that you would like to join for the rest of your PhD, and that's where you start formulating your project ideas and then starting to work on actual research. You do a proposal, usually in your second year, and if you pass your proposal defense, then you start officially being referred to as a PhD candidate. So right now I'm at the stage where I am in my first year after passing my proposal exam. So I'm a third year student is what I mean. So I've still got about 2 more years left in my program. At least that would be the ideal situation. And my major is neuroscience. So some of you already knew this, but you know, when you say you're studying neuroscience, it's very broad. So my focus is on epilepsy. Specifically, I am learning about temporal lobe epilepsy and trying to find new ways of understanding it, because it's been something that has been difficult to describe for a very long time. The history of epilepsy spans over 200 years, and there are still so many things that we don't know about how the disease progresses. So I'm learning about temporal lobe epilepsy. And I guess that would be, so I research a lot about the hippocampus, the hippocampal circuits. If you're interested in more about the science that I do have a Twitter account which you can follow, and I post a lot of academic, the academic side of me is basically on Twitter. So that is TM_Mohotu. I will put this up here as well. Okay, so then someone also asked, when are you ever going to be done with school? This is a very interesting question and a very funny way of asking it too. So I don't know when I'm ever going to be done with school, because even when I finish my PhD, for me, I don't think that'll be the end. I love learning, and I'm in love with lifelong learning, you know? So I'm the kind of person that even if I'm at work, I'm probably still taking courses to supplement my knowledge in other areas. I'm not the kind of person that only looks into one area. I like to be stimulated by knowledge in other fields. So for example, right now, although my main focus is neuroscience, but I'm interested in tech, I'm interested in cryptocurrencies, I'm interested in economics, I'm interested in entrepreneurship and social justice and things like that. So I like to, surround myself with people who are knowledgeable in these areas, or I will be taking online courses, getting certifications, and just gaining all the knowledge that I can get. So whether that would mean, when I'm done with the PhD, I'm done with formal school or not, I don't know. I might just decide to go back to university and do a different course of study altogether. I know.
Wow, crazy. You're crazy, girl.
A lot of people who have PhDs and then they went back to university to start a medical program, for example, or some PhD graduates who started in undergrad and went for computer science because they wanted to become developers or something of the sort, or like doing another PhD in a different field altogether. So honestly, I'm not going to be limiting myself. I'm not going to be limiting myself with, by thinking that, okay, as soon as I'm done with my PhD, that's it. And I know that back home, all the time, and then Facebook, and my answer these days is always something like, because usually the people that are asking you, when are you going to be done? Most of the time, they don't even know what you're doing. They're not even interested in what it is you're doing. And so when they ask the question of when are you going to be done, in my mind, I'm like, why do you need to know when I'm going to be done? And also, like, what is it going to mean for you that I'm done? Okay, I digress. One of the great things about being an adult is deciding when you eat certain things This is an ice cream sandwich that was gifted to me by my very lovely roommate because I said to her, oh, I'm craving ice cream today. And then she said, oh, I have ice cream. Do you want some? I was like, yeah, sure. And the thing is, I haven't had dinner. But you see, again, adulting, I can choose to have dessert before dinner. Getting back to the questions. Right, so the other question about academics was, have you ever been interested in any other study except for the one that you're doing now? And if you were to go back again, could you choose a different path? Sure, as I've mentioned, like I'm interested in a lot of things. And actually for me, choosing a specialization was difficult because I had an interest in a lot of things and I was a good performer in a lot of subjects. So narrowing it down to just a few things or just the one thing I ended up doing honestly was very, very difficult for me because I wasn't sure, you know, you're never too sure like what's going to yield the best results, what's going to make you the happiest, what's going to give you more money also at the end of the day. So it was a hard choice, but so I have been interested in other fields. For example, at some point in my life, I wanted to go into forensics and become a forensic pathologist. Don't ask me why. I don't remember why I was interested in that, but at one point I wanted to be a medical doctor, and I think I still have it in me. Like the interest is still there. And sometimes I do go back and forth in my head about, you know, where I am now versus if I had gone the medical route, what would my future look like, and if that's still an option for me in the future, if I want to actually double up on my doctorates. So yeah, I have thought about doing other stuff, but I think where I am now was a combination of interest, passion, opportunity, circumstance, fate, let's call it that. And I'm happy to be where I am now. I think this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. If I were to go back knowing what I know now, would I choose something different? Yes, definitely. I think right now I've just been learning so much about the tech space that I realized that had I taken certain courses seriously and really applied myself in undergrad, I feel like it's such an interesting industry to go into, whether you're gonna be on the front end, the back end, whatever. But like right now, tech is booming and there's a lot of job opportunities. And I think as compared to academia, obviously like it pays a lot of money. So if that's one of your driving factors, at least for me, it is one of them, even though not so like prioritized. But if I could go back, I think that's one thing I would change. It wouldn't mean that I would lose my interest in neuroscience, but I think I would find a way of combining them. So for example, I would maybe want to do computational neuroscience or robotics or something at the interface of computer science and neuroscience rather than pure experimental neuroscience. So that's something I would definitely do. The next question is sort of kind of related, but kind of leading away, and it's about where do I see myself in the next 5 years? Well, in the next 5 years, hopefully I've graduated. I have a big job somewhere in a big city. I think that I do want to live in a city again. So I've got 2 more categories of questions. So the next category is about culture and languages. And then the very last one, which I'm saving for last, honey, is about relationships and personal life. The next question is about how many languages I can speak. And so to answer that question, I would say fluently, I speak 4 languages. So my mother tongue is Sesotho, and that's a language that's spoken inside the country of Lesotho, also spoken by a lot of people in South Africa, the Sotho people in South Africa. And there's groups of Sotho speakers in Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Botswana, as far as I know. So yeah, it's pretty widespread in Southern Africa. Then I speak English. I'm speaking English right now. I also speak Sepedi. Sepedi is a linguistically very close to Sesotho. Sometimes it's referred to as Northern Sotho. It's one of the official languages of South Africa, and how I learned this language was through TV and a lot of series that we watch back home. I also speak Zulu. I spent some time in KwaZulu-Natal. I've done internships there with Zulu speakers, and I learned Zulu through TV, but when I actually lived in Durban, I actually practiced a lot, and I still have a lot of friends from there who speak only in Zulu. So my accent might be foreign, but they understand when I speak. And then I've got other languages which I would say I've been exposed to, and when my ears hear that language, I can tell that, oh, that's this language and this is what this person is saying. But my level is not that high. So for example, I've learned French, I learned a little bit of German. I wouldn't get lost in Germany. So I'm able to speak very, very, very basic German. And here in Japan, I'm learning Japanese. And I would say my Japanese is way better than my German at this point, just because I've practiced Japanese more than I ever practiced German, for sure. Swahili, again, it was through doing internships. So I've been in Tanzania for several months, and Swahili is actually one of the Bantu languages. And grammatical structures, sentence construction and such things are kind of similar to Sesotho, but just the actual content of the language is different. So I learned a little bit of Swahili when I lived in Tanzania, and then I tried to keep up the learning when I went back to university through friends, but that didn't really work out. So yeah, these are the languages I speak. 4 languages fluently, and the other 4 kind of like learning. How was the culture shock when you first arrived in Japan? This is very nice because I do have an upcoming video that is solely dedicated to culture shocks in Japan. There was a lot. There's so many things that I was not expecting or that I just didn't know. Japan is very interesting and very different to most places I've been to. So yeah, look out for that video. It's going to be coming up. Some things that I can mention now are just how polite the society in Japan is. So one time I went to a store and I was trying to look for a certain color of foundation, like for makeup. And the lady was telling me that they don't have this shade in the store, which it is what it is. But she was so sorry. Like, she looked like she had been hurt. And I felt sorry for her. And I was just like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And she kept apologizing and apologizing for, and you must understand, this is a sales personnel in the store. She's apologizing on behalf of the company, of the brands and everything, that they didn't have my shade. And I felt so seen in a way. And then I realized also that this is generally how Japanese people are, super polite, especially like the customer service in Japan. Honestly, in my experience, it's unsurpassed. I don't know if I'll ever be in a place where the customer service is as excellent as it is in Japan. So yeah, that's one thing I can talk about that honestly shocked me the most, is just how excellent and how polite people are in their professional settings here. And then next question was about what's the racism like in Japan? So my answer to this kind of links to the point I just made above. I personally have not been met with any racially charged situations by Japanese people. The racial incidents that I've been to, by incidents I mean maybe someone calling you a racial slur, or someone treating you differently and you're sure that it was because of the color of your skin. These have not been by Japanese people in Japan. There have been white people in Japan on my campus who have said and done certain things, and we've addressed that. but it's never actually happened from a Japanese person directly to me. Now I know that, you know, people's experiences are different, especially when you compare the Okinawa experience to people who live in mainland. I've seen so many reports of people of color being treated in a certain way by Japanese police or by whoever, or in the workplace, you know. So I'm not going to be talking about anybody else's experience but my own. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I have not been, you know, verbally or in any other way racially abused by a Japanese person, only by white people in Japan. Like in my case, I don't know if it's because Japanese people are not racist or if it's because they're so polite that maybe even the racist ones would not be detected because of how polite they are, if you get my drift. Yeah, so I don't want to dwell on that too much though, but feel free to, like, you know, send me a message if you want me to elaborate on that or whatever, and we can talk about it in private. We're getting to like the juicy stuff, okay? So I mean, there's just two main questions people wanted to know about. Since I posted a video a while back asking whether I should get myself a Japanese boyfriend in order to learn Japanese, so people wanted a follow-up. They asked me whether, well, the first question was, would you actually date a Japanese person? That's easy. Yeah, I would date anyone. Like, I don't have country specific or ethnicity specific requirements to date someone. So my categories, or like my requirements for dating people, go beyond nationality and ethnicity. So yes, I would date a Japanese person, I would date a Masoto person, I would date whoever. The next one was, have you actually found a Japanese boyfriend? So no. No, unfortunately not. I have not found a Japanese boyfriend.
Really? Are you?
Not that I've tried. I don't know how people find boyfriends, guys. I'm just an innocent child of God trying to do my work here, and you people are trying to make me go and hunt for men. I don't do that. What is dating? I don't know what dating is. Okay, but I'm kidding. No, I have not dated a Japanese person in Japan or anywhere, and I haven't been looking. So does that answer your questions? Do you guys want more details about that? I don't know how to answer it further without implicating myself. Thank you guys for chilling with me. That was basically it. I thank you all for your submissions for my questions, and I hope that you enjoy spending time with me today, just chilling. You guys know that when we chill on the sofa, it's about to go down. You know, when we chill here, she's gonna spill the tea. So what I want to know is, are you satisfied with my answers for all of these questions, or do you have follow-up questions? Number two, I also want to know if you would like me to do a recap, a reflection piece once I hit that 1 year milestone, to say what I've learned throughout the 1 year period. And yeah, if there's anything else that you guys would like to know from me, feel free to post it in the comment section. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, also on Instagram, to catch up with me on the daily, because I post a lot more there. Also, you'll get to see things before they actually load up on YouTube. So with this, I say thank you and goodbye. See you in the next one.